Welcome to HTML Review. You guys all made it past Web Design 1. Good job. Some of you, maybe. So you're all here. We're going to review Web Design 1 because I gave you the because my first year teaching, you guys didn't learn as much as my second year of teaching. That's my fault. I'll take the blame on that one. I was a little bit better in my second year. So this review might have some new content for some of you. Don't worry, as always, you're going to learn mostly by doing in my class. This is going to be followed up by some more work. So, it's like step one, step numero uno, creating an HTML file. Open brackets, or in this case, because you have the wonderful world of Chromebooks, caret. Click File in the top left, then click Save As. And make sure you are in your school folder, or make sure you are inside the folder you created for Web Design 2. Now, remember, every folder in Web Design 2 is a website. Whenever you want to make a new website, you make a new folder. The name of that folder is what you want your website to be named. So do not put any names if you want to, or do not put any spaces in your names. If you want a space in your name, use an underscore. And remember, every single home page, we must name index.html. After the dot is a type of file. So this is an HTML file. Okie doke, next slide. The HTML skeleton. Everything you have to add. Okay, I was just checking something. So you have the HTML tag that allows us to code in HTML, meta char set that allows us to do any language. Title, remember, is not the title that comes up at the top of your page. The title is what you see in the tab on your browser. Everything in between the opening and closing head tag is just information about your website. Then you have the body tag, where everything in between the opening and closing body tag is something you see on your website. You do not always need that paragraph tag. That is just an example to, if you run this code, show that something comes up. HTML, elements, and tags. So an element is the whole thing between the opening and closing tag. Elements are the building blocks of a web page. And attributes provide additional information about those elements. So if you look at this, this is a link tag or a link element. So we have the opening A tag with an href attribute. Remember, it's the attribute equals and then stuff in quotes. So that is our attribute and attribute value. Then we might have some content in between our opening and closing tag. So in this case, this is the text they click for a link. And then we have the / to indicate that that is the closing tag. Peace. If you're watching this at home, maybe you want to pause the video and take some notes. I might talk too fast. This is pre-recorded again. In class, it might be different. So feel free. Mr. You're talking too much. Bam, hit the space bar, pause the video, take some notes. If you want to take a closer look at tags, here you go. Left angle, right angle brackets, crocodiles as I like to call them. Attribute name, equal sign, attribute value. This is like the super basic stuff. You guys, it's in your brain. I believe in you. Text markup. How can we change our text to look a certain way? Headers. You use these to separate content on a page. Think like they're your unit or chapters if your web page was a book. So H1 is our largest header all the way down to H6, which is our smallest header. It doesn't get any bigger or smaller than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Text modification. You can use B or strong to make something bold, I or EM to make it italic or emphasize it, U to underline it, mark to highlight, BR to add a line break. I wouldn't use BR too much though. Remember, CSS is how we make stuff look cool. And then to make a list, you use UL for on ordered list or OL for ordered list. And then in between your opening and closing list tag, you add LI and a /LI for every list item. Font modification. Always have a P when you want to add paragraph text, and you could use the font tag with attributes color, size, or face to style it, or you could just use the style tag to do a wee little bit of CSS. Links. External takes you from your website to a totally outside website. For example, if you were going from YouTube, or if you were going from my website to, you click it and you go to YouTube, that would be an external link. Local takes you anywhere within your website. So if you're going from my homepage to an About Me page on my website, that's a local link. Internal keeps you on the same page but brings you to a new location. So if it's a long page, an internal link might take you from up here to way down here. So to add a link to your website, you use the A tag with the href attribute, and you set it equal to your location. So if it's external, you might use a link, like you might just copy and paste a link from the website. If it's local, you'll use the file type within the folder. If it's internal, remember we have to use IDs on certain areas of our website. So you put hashtag or pound sign. I'm a millennial. If you use the pound sign and then the ID. Images, making our website look all pretty. So to find an image, you go to Google, you find the image you want, you click it so it comes up bigger on the right side, then you right click it and click copy image address. That is how we use image addresses. You can also download it and put it in the same folder as your website. We will get there and you will have to do that eventually. And then you would just use the file name. So if you saved a picture of a duck as duck.jpg, you'd make sure it's in the same folder as your index file and just do image src equals duck.jpg. So again, you use the image element with the src source, the source of our image attribute, and you set the value equal to the URL, so the image address. Remember, you have to copy image address. You can't just copy the thing at the top. You copy the image address and you put that where the word URL is. We have some attributes we can use to change our image, and they would still go in the beginning image tag. Remember, you can have a ton of different attributes in your one image tag, in any tag. So you can have a backup, so an alt image, or you can just name it so alt. Maybe if I put a picture of a duck, my alt text would be duck. You can change the size using the width or height. Choose one if you want to keep the ratio the same. If I change the height, the width would automatically change with it to keep the same dimensions. If you want to make a square and make it a rectangle, you would have to change both. Changing both breaks the ratio, unless you keep it the ratio yourself. And then a tooltip, like when you hover over something, it's like a little box of information comes up. That is a tooltip. You would use the title attribute. So if you hover over the duck picture, you could be like, it's a duck. That could be your tooltip. Yay. Linking an image. So when you want to link something, it's a sandwich. You make a link sandwich. So you put the A tag, you want to wrap it. So maybe it's a link present, not a sandwich, or you're wrapping your PB&J in tinfoil. You put the A tag first, and then the image. So ahref, where you want to link it. Then you put the image, you want to click on it, and then you close it with the /A. So you are wrapping your image with a link. The link is the wrapping paper, and you put the image inside. Tables, the most fun thing ever. Table elements. Table is your first element, creates a new table. TR creates a new row, and TD creates a table cell for table data. So if you look over on the left, that is what if you want a 3x3 table, you would need all that code. So an opening and closing table tag. If you want 3 rows, 3 opening and closing TR tags, In every single cell, so 3 by 3 is 9, you have 9 opening and closing TD pairs. Divs and spans. Now at this point, this is new material. Maybe my first year students didn't learn. If I reuse this video when I'm 70, then sorry first year students, I still apologize. So divs, you use a div to define a division or section of your HTML page. Div, divide. You kind of want to group elements together in similar blocks so you can easily format it with CSS. Makes your life so easy. It is always better to overuse divs. It's fine. Adding div tags visually does nothing. So overuse div tags rather than underuse. Spans. It's for when you want to span some attributes across something. So group together inline elements, so elements on the same line to style those elements. Nice. That's Mr. U. That's the same exact bullet points. The second bullet point should read, don't overuse too many spans. It won't do anything, but they're not as important as divs. Div tags are muy importante. Questions? If you're watching this video, message me and ask questions. Have a lovely day.